the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. Waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
I told him. I've been trying to tell him. I've been trying to tell him. Told him they was gonna trade Diggs. I said, "Oh my God, we gonna get into this. Y'all hit that like button." Oh boy. Oh boy. Man, hit that like button. Oh boy. It's over. It's over. Super Bowl to chat. Well, let me slow down. Division champ to chat. Division champ to chat. It's over. It's over. I already checked on Dan. He making excuses. That window is shut. And I told y'all it was shut. I told you it was shut. They don't want to listen to TD. This is a loaded conversation that we got to have because I'm going to get into it. I ain't going to spoil it yet, but we got to talk about this. Y'all hit that like button. Shout out to those who send a donation already. I'm going to read your super chats in just a moment. Oh my gosh. You know, this ain't no April Fools. This ain't no April Fools. This stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video, ladies and gentlemen. That bonus is up to $2,500 on your first 3 deposits. 24/7 customer service if you need help, and 24-hour fast and easy payouts. BetUS already. BetUS has already adjusted. Oh boy, that gap has shut. They were above us by big. Now we're right there. Bills plus 165, Dolphins plus 175. Bills plus 165, Dolphins plus 175. Right there on them. Right there on them. Right there on them now. That gap has shut. It's our division. Now, will they go get another receiver or whatever? Yeah, but it don't matter. Chemistry and all that good stuff is what matters. This is the Dolphins division now. Oh my gosh, man. Y'all go check out the Dolphins odds on BetUS. That plus 175 looking better than anything ever now. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. Josh Allen was a bum in this league until they got Stefan Diggs anyway. You want to talk about some truth? The Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, they were bums until they got Stefan Diggs. And I ain't going to sit here in front. I ain't going to act all brand new. We weren't nothing until we got Tyreek, but we still got him. We still got him. The Buffalo Bills window is officially closed. Why? It's money, ladies and gentlemen. It's money. They decided to take on $30 million in dead cap and spread it out over the remainder. Why? Because of the money. And they got tired of Diggs too. You saw that back and forth online last night. Somebody was saying Diggs don't make Josh Allen. Josh Allen was good without him or not. And Diggs replied, "Are you sure?" Oh, Josh Allen got him fired. Josh Allen got him traded. Josh Allen got that man traded. And now Josh Allen's going to pay the heavy cost of it. He going to pay the heavy cost. The only reason I'm wearing this shirt is to show my condolences because they are in the division. Showing my condolences to the Buffalo Bills fans. Okay? Because this is the last time I'm going to have to wear this shirt as a bet to Dan Mitchell. I only bought this shirt because I lost a bet to Dan Mitchell. And this is the last time you're going to ever have to worry about seeing me in it because we ain't losing to them bums no more. We are not losing to them bums anymore. And the only hump we needed to get over was those bums, and then we could feel good about moving forward and growing this team. Because as long as we can't beat the Bills, none of this crap matters. Now life just got easier in Miami. It just got that much easier. Y'all punch that like button. Let's get these likes up. Y'all, let's get these likes up. This is the best news we done had in a long time. Hit that like button. Punch that like button. Let's go. We should have been had over 100 likes. The Bills are imploding in our face, and y'all ain't hitting the like button. It should be a love button for this. Now, let's break it down. Let's get a little philosophical. Let's get deep. Let's get deep. First and foremost, y'all give me 1 second. Hey, Paul. Oh, I don't think he can hear me. Can you hear me, Paul? No. My bad. Paul, can you hear me? Hey, I got to call you back. I got breaking news. Stefan Diggs got traded. All right, bro. My bad, y'all. Business partner. He was waiting on that call all day. All that got to go to the side now. All right. Let's get philosophical. Okay. Let's talk facts of this. Ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans are the top 3 team in the NFL right now. The Houston Texans are a top 3 team in the NFL right now. I put them all the way up there. They already did a lot of dirty work in the offseason. Look at what they did last year. Look at what they did this offseason. I had them in my top 7. They bring in Stefan Diggs on top of that, bro. Come on. From a roster standpoint, they roster better than the Chiefs. They roster better than Buffalo. They roster better than the Bengals. They roster better than close to the Browns. I mean, let's be honest. Who got a better roster than the Houston Texans right now? I don't know if we've been paying attention to their roster, but who got a better roster? Like really? The Houston Texans. This is ridiculous. I'm just calling it what it is. And lucky them. Eagles, okay, they rival them. The Eagles rival them. San Francisco rival them. But that's where I'm at with the Eagles in San Francisco. You can't name another one. You just throwing it out there if you do. No, the Dolphins ain't got a better roster than the Texans. Ravens ain't got a better roster than them now. No. Ravens ain't got a better roster. It ain't far behind, but they ain't got a better roster. I'm sorry. They found out they got a dog at the quarterback position his rookie year. They said, oh, we ain't going to miss out on this 3-4 year window. We got to go grab a Super Bowl or 2 right now. We got a dog playing like this as a rookie with no-name receivers, taking them to the playoffs, winning the division. We got a dog, man, do everything. Spend whatever. Do it all. We saving all this money on quarterback. You better do it now. This is what I've been trying to teach y'all. This is the new philosophy now. You get you a young quarterback, and if you find out he that dude in year 1 or 2, you go all out. You go all out. And they going beyond all out. I mean, the Texans are loaded. Loaded. I mean, loaded to the point they get a few injuries like last year. It won't matter. They still going to be. The only thing that can derail them is the quarterback. And they brought in a backup too. And people like Diggs is washed up in the chat. On the tech, see, this is what y'all got to understand. A guy who washed up when he's surrounded by a whole bunch of other good players, they become unwashed up because they don't have to do it all now. They don't have to be the 1,400 yard receiver. I mean, them guys can get, Diggs can go get 900 yards and be super effective for them. When you look at the other guys they got. And I know Diggs ain't washed. But come on, man. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And I see y'all in the chat. I know Diggs ain't washed, but sometimes when people put comments like that make no sense, I cater into it and just talk about how it wouldn't matter even if he was. Because in this type of circumstance, even a washed player can now have less pressure on him, can now have more around him. Who wasn't game planning to stop Diggs when you played the Bills? You weren't worried about everybody else to that degree. Now you think they're going to be game planning for Diggs? With everything the Texans got, You can't game plan for one guy. CJ Stroud, man. Gosh. Man, I need to go back to BetUS. I might need to put MVP odds in on CJ Stroud. I might need to put some cash on CJ Stroud MVP. And that ain't because he's the best quarterback in the league, even though he's somewhat playing like it. But look, I mean, playing like that with all these weapons, come on. This is not a case of put a whole bunch of weapons around him and now he looked good. He was good without it. Now he has it. Oh. See, this is not the Miami Dolphins situation. Load up around him and now he looks like a good quarterback. No, he proved to you with less than around him, with the beat up O-line, even Tunsil getting hurt all the time, with all of the dysfunction around him, I could still put this team on my back sometimes. It ain't got to be all the time. Nobody ever said that it has to be all the time. But your franchise quarterback needs to do it sometime. And he proved, I know the O-line beat up, but it's okay. I know we got one nice receiver and everything else is like, but it's okay. I know the running game is, okay. It's okay, though, because you got me. And I could put us on our back sometimes. Sometimes I'm young, I'm a mess up, but I'm gonna ball. And he proved that in the first year, and they're rewarding him by saying, you are worth what we're doing right now. We are going to get you any and everything that you need and take care of you and make life easy for you and start your trajectory of having an MVP type career. Like he's set up. He's set up now. And you can't be looking for them to be trading people away or nothing because they did never make new signings. And they gave up a second round pick and got Diggs and 2 late round draft picks. A second round pick for Diggs and 2 late rounders. And here we are around here spending a first, a second, and all kind of stuff on Tyreek. But CJ Stroud didn't need Stefan Diggs. We needed Tyreek. So I get it to that standpoint, but this just makes the rich richer. New Finland says Stroud poops the bed this season and TD gonna be like, I told y'all this guy a bum, LOL. Yeah, you just need to watch me a little more often so you can be a little more factual with what you say. If Stroud pooped the bed this year, I'm gonna say, oh, that was just a rookie. Nobody knew who he was, and that sophomore slump came. And this is not a good look for the Texans to invest all of this thinking you have a guy, and then all of a sudden he poops. This is a bad look on Stroud. In year 3, he better turn this around or this can go south for them quick. It'll be that simple. Again, we got 700 people watching right now. And I've declared today Miami Dolphins Peace Day. We don't have to take shots. We don't have to come at TD to disprove him or just try to come in his comment section to make him sound like a clown, this and that. You can believe what you want to believe. Can we be peaceful today? Can we enjoy the fact that on Dolphins Peace Day, the Bills traded away Stefan Diggs and their organization window is closed and we're primed to take the division as long as we hold the Jets off? Can we enjoy that today? Can we stop the slander and all of the hate and all of the dislike or jealousy? I don't know what derives of it, but whatever it is, can we do that? It ain't that serious today. Let's enjoy this. This is a beautiful moment. And I can't wait for the huddle at 3 p.m. on BetUS TV. And I can't wait for the Miami Dolphins roundtable tonight. Oh, it's going to be a lovely night. It's going to be a lovely day. Perfect. But let's start there. Let's do that. Okay? But back to being philosophical. Okay? And talking about what all of this means. Let's get off of the Texans by ending and saying, dang, they're going to be a top team in the AFC, and we got to play them. We're going to play them. And what I don't like about this, when the Texans are doing what they're doing, they're basically signaling to the Colts, the Titans, and the Jags. I see y'all keep on trying to match our moves. No, we gonna keep going. Let's see who blinks first. So I'm gonna tell you now, I could see Tennessee making some more moves, big ones, because they done loaded up right away. They feel good about some of the things Will Levis did last year. They don't want to be showed up. And to be quite honest with you, they've already loaded up. They already geared up. But we're going to have to play against this division that's dealing with all of this firepower that they bringing in. What version of Anthony Richardson are we going to get? But the Jags and the Titans, look for them to make a few more additional big moves. And in the Colts, I still think they're going to want to see what Anthony Richardson is before they go all out monetarily. They tried to go out monetarily, but they missed so much at this point. You might as well kind of keep coasting and make sure you got what you like in Anthony Richardson. But we got to play that whole division this year. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting when we lock and loaded and we match up with the Houston Texans. Is that game at home or on the road? Let me look that up. Y'all tell me in the chat because y'all be remembering. Let me just look it up. It might take too long. And I got it right here. Let me see if I can beat y'all. On the road, we got to go to Houston. On the road. We have to go to Houston on the road against that firepower offense. They got the O-line. They got the run game now. Wide receiver weapons galore. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, you might even say. They got the quarterback. They got the tight end. That firepower offense right there. That's what they got. That defense, they did a lot of work to make it better. Will it hold up? I'm skeptical. I got to wait and see. I'm skeptical. Now, I see somebody in the chat say that was a quick rebuild. Actually, it wasn't for the Texans. Y'all got to remember that the previous regime for the Texans gave up all their assets and sold the farm as a last-ditch effort to try to survive before they got fired. Y'all remember because Tunsil was a part of it. And then we didn't notice for like 3 years straight, they sat back under the radar and was just trash. They had to wait to get their books in order. Because they general manager went down this road trying to prove and justify his decisions and kept going deeper and deeper and down a bad path. And on top of that, with a quarterback who didn't want to be there anymore. And there you had it. The new regime had to deal with that for 3 years. And then what you didn't notice for the next 2 years after that, they silently rebuilt. They stripped the roster down. They were rebuilding, bringing in young talent. They were bringing the talent in actually before they got their quarterback. And as soon as they got middle of the road talent, they said, now it's time to bring our quarterback in. And all of this capital that we acquired the last 2 years after our recovery. And right there, they got that defensive lineman. They got Stroud, and they made some moves in the draft, and they loaded up with young talent last year, and look at what they were able to do in 1 year. It was a 5-year process, but they start building a team before they brought the quarterback in, and then right when they got the quarterback in, immediately they were competitive. And now this offseason, they went and filled every hole and got depth and loaded up. They are ready for war, ladies and gentlemen, and their cap situation is just fine. Their cap situation is just fine. And I'll do you one better. What a lot of y'all don't know is the fact that they not even going to have to pay the remainder of Stefan Diggs' deal like that. The Buffalo got $30 million in dead cap on this. This is a deal, a discount. with what they're going to have to pay. So they don't have to eat all the guaranteed money that they gave him. He's a $19 million cap hit for the Texans this year as of right now. But I thought with the Bills, it was upwards of like 26 or something like that. And then the rest of his contract, and I want y'all to think about it like this too. You got Tyreek out here making 30 million, and Stefan Diggs don't even make more than 20 million a year. His average salary is supposed to be 24 million, but for the next 4 years with the Houston Texans, he'll never get over $20 million. He'll never get over $20 million. Justin said 31. Forgive me. Stefan Diggs cap hit with the Bills was supposed to be 31 million. And look, going to the Texans, they only got to deal with 19 of it. And for the next 4 years, he'll never get over $20 million. 4 more years on his contract, ladies and gentlemen, and they'll never have to pay over $20 million. So when you look at the wide receiver market right now, getting Stefan Diggs for $18 million a year almost. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 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 And I'm going to be honest with you. They might even restructure his contract. They might give him more money, restructure it, but get even further to give the team more flexibility. He has the perfect contract for them right now where they could play around with it. Actually, let me back up here. I'm looking at it, and I just realized that Stefan Diggs signed a 4-year, $96 million contract with the Buffalo Bills. That was his extension. That was his extension coming out of his coming out of his rookie deal or something. So they're just picking up the beginning of his new deal that he signed 2 years ago with Buffalo. Wow. And here's the funny part about all of this, y'all. He'll never have dead cap for the Texans. Right now, he's in a part of his contract for the Texans. The Texans have 0 guarantees on Stefan Diggs. They just got an annual salary of $19 million, $18.5 million, $19.5 million, and $18 million with no guarantees. What does that mean? They should be happy to pay him his $19 million, $18 million, $19 million, $18 million every year. And if he gets hurt or they don't like him anymore, cut him, and it's 0 dead cap. Buffalo's going to eat over 30 million in dead cap on this. I already saw the report. Buffalo eats 30 million dead cap. This is insane. And I'm going to be honest with you. The insane part about it, I don't even worry about Buffalo, don't care about them. It is what it is. The insane part is the Houston Texans. That's the insane part. Now, everybody's saying, well, the Bills are going to trade for T. Higgins. They're going to trade for T. Higgins. Maybe so, but you about to have to pay a whole lot more for him than you were paying Stefan Diggs. You're about to have to pay a whole lot more for him than you did Stefan Diggs. And he won his money now. But we'll see. We'll see. Now, are we out of the clear with Buffalo? No, they get a T. Higgins. They right back in there. It is what it is. But it makes it looks even worse. It makes their finals even tougher. And they've already been shredding the roster. And right now they're out with the old and trying to go in with the new. Because you know what this is a signal for with Buffalo? Our current build around Josh Allen didn't work. We have officially failed. Now they're going to try a whole new build around Josh Allen. We're talking about a quarterback, right, who wasn't nothing without the weapons. And now you're going to try a whole new rebuild around him and try to put more weapons around him, a different set of them. A different set of them. When at the end of the day, as good as Josh Allen is, this is why I'm very hard on Josh Allen, because people want to ignore this just because he is one of the better quarterbacks. But let's not forget what makes him one of the better quarterbacks is his superpower of his running ability. You take that away, he's a solid quarterback. I don't even want to say above average. I'll go to the next level. He's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Take away his legs. He's not great. He's not elite if you take away his legs. The scary factor of him is his ability to extend plays and run the ball and pick up first downs and move the chains. That's it. He got a cannon. He can get in the pocket. He can make some throws, but he's not elite in that area. He got an elite arm, but he's not elite. He's not an elite passer like people try to make it out to be. It's the combination. He is a good quarterback that has a superpower, and that elevates him to a really good quarterback. That's what makes him a really good quarterback. And it's still hard to win with guys like that, because you got to rely on them to just use their legs. Because when he runs up against a Patrick Mahomes, who I kind of view the same, but he has better clutch ability, because in the biggest moment, he always outplays Josh Allen. In the biggest moment, he always outplays Lamar Jackson. In the biggest moment, he always outplays everybody except Tom Brady. And somewhat Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow is a true pocket passer. Elite. So Buffalo, they're in a whole new rebuild without having to rebuild, because they can see, at least they're not in a position that the Dolphins are in. See, they could move a player out and bring a fresh one in. Move a whole bunch out and try to bring less than in and try to cumulatively still be good. That's the situation we put ourselves in because of all the big contracts. But what does this tell you about the Dolphins? I always try to tell y'all, and this is where people get mad at me, they want to ignore me, but man, what I be saying to y'all, proof is all around you. Learn a lesson from even the Buffalo Bills right now. This is the reality for the Miami Dolphins in a year or two. Same thing. Tyreek is going to have to go at some point. They're going to be obligated to choose Waddle because he's younger, and Tyreek will be even older then. And you can't just keep on ringing up on a guy that is about to start shifting. Not when you don't have, the elite of all elite quarterbacks. And Tua is a good quarterback, but y'all know what I mean. This is a reality for the Dolphins coming up. I told the Bills their window was closing. I said, you got 2 years 2 years ago. This year, I'm going to be honest with you, I was a little shocked how they kind of, didn't completely implode, but lost a lot, but still they got a team that can make the playoffs. But now I really feel confident they can't. They're going to have to go do something like a T. Higgins. They're going to have to. So the Miami Dolphins, man, we already started our purge. The backwards part of our purge, we started it with young players. Yeah, but we can't be paying that much for those guys. You were supposed to be prepared to. Like, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest about something. Let's stop saying things that just make us feel better to justify what the team did so that we don't look at them as making bad decisions. Like, for instance, well, get it now. I would have never paid 27 for Christian Wilkins. You were supposed to be prepared to. Why? Because you drafted him to be the future. And then if you didn't have anybody to come up behind him, you were supposed to be prepared to pay him. Why do you think we draft these players, ladies and gentlemen? We draft them to be some of the best guys at their position. Then when they become that, we can't have them anymore. That's why you drafted them. You only draft a player for 4 years or 5 years unless your team is operating on autopilot because you're the best top 3 GM organization in the league. And what do I mean like that? You only do that when you have a dynasty that's on autopilot. Look at what the Patriots were doing. Nobody noticed, but every year their best players were getting traded in year 3 or 4. Nobody noticed how Bill Belichick and company, they were shipping players off around in that 4th year because they've already had the replacement sitting behind them for a year and a half. And if they feel that that player is good enough to take over and maintain the fort, put them in, save the money, get the draft pick. Doubling their draft picks. That's autopilot, and it's when you have a dynasty. The Dolphins aren't even close to that. Why? Because here we are, free agency isn't over, but it's pretty much the heat of it is over, and we still got holes. You're supposed to be going in a draft, even in the first round, to find your players to start in the future. Or your backups right now that are going to take over next year if they show well in practice, or they steal a position in practice and they could trade them in training camp. That's a well-run organization. Imagine if we had no holes right now, right? We did. Christian Wilkins was here. Hunt was here. Connor Williams was healthy. Cam Smith was a dog at the corner. Channing Tindall was a dog at middle linebacker. Robert Jones would have been a dog at safety. Imagine if we still had all of that and a lot of those guys worked out, right? We wouldn't have got Poyer. We wouldn't have got Fuller. We wouldn't have got none of these guys because our money would have been tied into keeping our team, right? And guess what we would have been doing? Watch this. Let me ask y'all a question. If we didn't have the hopes, what would we be drafting in the first round? Hands down, if you know football, what position, and be specific on the position, what position will we be drafting this draft in the first round at 21 if we had all of our stuff together and we didn't have any holes? Put it in the chat. If you know football, you'll get this right. It ain't no linebacker. It ain't no wide receiver. Wrong. Wide receiver, Ronnie? Wrong. No, we wouldn't still be drafting a wide receiver. Wrong. Stop all y'all putting wide receiver right now. If we had our stuff together, Tyreek, Waddle, and company, and everybody's fine, it would not be quarterback. I'm saying if Tua was balling too, it would be an offensive tackle. If the Dolphins had their stuff together, our first pick would be a left tackle that in year one would be playing left guard next to Teron Armstead, ready to take over for Teron Armstead. That's what we would have been doing at 21 if we had our act together. No question about it. It would have been a left tackle. And remember, I'm saying this with the assumption that Tua's balling, he's a franchise quarterback. Connor was still here healthy. Hunt was here. Christian Wilkins was here. Cam Smith was balling. And Channing Tindall. Everything was going the way we want to go. If everything was going the way we wanted it to go, the very first pick at 21 that we be looking into is at the left tackle position. Hands down. Hands down. Might even move up to grab a left tackle. But it would be left tackle. But we so far from that. We need a starting defensive tackle. We need a starting guard. We need a starting center. We need quite a few things. We're not even going to be thinking about the future in this draft. Because if we were thinking about the future, we would bring in that wide receiver for the future. We would bring in that left tackle for now, so that ain't even the future. We need that now to prepare for the future. Because left tackles, you can't get them wrong. You can't draft next year in the first round when Teron Armstead go with left tackle, and then all of a sudden, if he bums out, we're screwed. Just that one can really screw you. We need to bring in a safety for the future. Poyer is a rental. We need a corner for the future. Everybody talk about Fuller. It's funny how everybody talk about, oh, we got a starter in Fuller. Oh, see, when Fuller wasn't here, Cam Smith gonna prove y'all wrong this year. Now Fuller here. Oh, well, Fuller's the guy. And nobody even want to talk about Cam Smith anymore. Nobody want to talk about Channing Tindall anymore. We're not talking about the blind side. We already locked Austin Jackson down for a few years. We would have been investing in we would have been invested in his left tackle. Man, you need more than two good corners. I agree. We'd have been in that area too. But what I'm saying to you is, it's just funny that nobody's talking about it. Because shouldn't Cam Smith be having an opportunity to start? But everybody's automatically saying Fuller's going to start. The man who gave up, if I'm not mistaken, the most touchdowns in the NFL last year at 9 or something like that. It's funny to me. Everybody like, yeah, but we got better in coverage. I keep telling y'all this, right? So this is the analogy that I use. I just don't let people stop process sometimes. It's like you got a corner, right? You got a corner that gives up a 12-yard pass, first down. Give up a 6-yard pass, tackle them right away. Give up a 2-yard pass, but they punt the ball, right? And they do that all the time. They give up a lot that's thrown their way, but they're not giving up the big plays and they're not getting scored on. They got a terrible rating because they coverage ain't all that, but they ain't giving up the big stuff. They're just giving up completions, but at least it's in front of the sticks, right? That's one guy, but not a great rating because he ain't locked down. Then the other guy, incomplete. You ain't getting his 12-yarder. Incomplete. You ain't getting his 6-yarder. 2-yarder, okay, you got that, but it was only 2. 14-yarder, you ain't getting that. Touchdown. I mean, I locked him down on 4 plays, though. like, make it make sense. It is, corners are more valuable to stop you from getting in the end zone and just giving up possession. It reminds me of Byron Jones. No matter what y'all want to say about him and his injuries, that's fair. But do not act like he wasn't a good corner. Thing about Byron Jones, he always kept you under the sticks. He always kept you under the sticks. Every time you completed something, it was for 3 yards, little 6-yarder here and there. But he ain't giving up the deep ball like that. He ain't giving up the 25-yard intermediate. He ain't giving all that stuff up. You got to operate underneath with him. You got to operate underneath. And people, even though the other guy has a higher grading in coverage, but you giving up points. You giving up points, and what tells me is it's an aggressive guy that gambles a lot, or when he miss or when he get beat, as long as that quarterback putting that ball where it need to be, they're toast. Giving up the most touchdowns tell me you also struggle in recovering. So that's my whole thing about this Fuller thing. Everybody keep talking about, he's great in coverage. I was just going to say that simply. Fuller is a guy that I believe need to be north and south in the box as a slot corner. I was just about to say that, and I read it right when I was just about to mention that. But we all want to fit him on the outside, and I'm telling you, he's not going to be the best look on the outside. Not with these receivers got to go up against. And then when you go up against teams like the Texans that got all these weapons, you're not going to have as much safety help because some of these safeties going to be lined up one-on-one. When you got these teams that got a lot of good receivers, 3 of them on the field at once, you ain't going to have much safety help. So that's kind of how I look at it, but we need to learn something from this Buffalo situation. We could very easily be right where they are next year. Next year. Easily. Somebody said Diggs a cancer for the Texans. They gonna have fun. The Texans gonna have fun. And now they ain't got to worry about no stuff from Diggs about who made who. See, Diggs felt he could poke his chest out because Josh Allen wasn't doing what he was doing until he got there. So now Diggs going to a quarterback who proved it without him. So come on in here, let's have some fun. I'm not finna force feed you the ball, and you have no right to get it force fed to you because it's plenty of us, and it's plenty to go around. I don't think he's going to be an issue at all in Houston. And I'm telling y'all now, this is why teams like the Texans took advantage of their window of a rookie deal quarterback. See, we took advantage of it too, but we didn't capitalize off of it. Now Tua just making $23.5 million already. The window is halfway shut. That money makes a difference. See, we paid all that money because Tua was on a rookie deal. We spent all of that money on Chubb, Ramsey. You can say Xavier Howard, Teddy, even though not anymore. Teron Armstead, Tyreek Hill. We paid all of that money. And what did we have to show for it? No playoff wins. I'm going to take the shirt off soon. I just want to troll the Bills fans a little longer. Listen, we paid all that money with nothing to show for it. They got to make it work, and they got to show something for it. But the sad thing is, before they spent a dime, they already showed more than we did. That's the embarrassing part of it. Before they paid a dime, they already showed more than we did. And people could say, well, their division wasn't as competitive. You a lie. The crazy thing is the AFC South was just as competitive as the AFC East last year because at least the Jags were battling it out with them at the top. Matter of fact, the Jags own it. The Jags collapsed just like we did. They collapsed just like we did. And Houston just winning away. And to be quite honest with you, Houston lost some games late in the season that was like, dang, y'all had it right in your hand and you're throwing it away. And they still overcame. And then what did they do? The shocker of it all, they got a playoff win. Shocker right here, man. But the Dolphins need to learn from this. You can keep moving forward. You can keep on moving forward and operating like this. This is why I kind of tell y'all I wish the Dolphins would kind of like somewhat not reset, but get their stuff in order, because they went for broke 2 years ago almost just to save face. People don't understand the politics of the Miami Dolphins 2 years ago. When they brought in Mike McDaniel, they spent all that money because they had to make sure they didn't look like the bad guys in the whole Flores situation. People want to ignore that fact, but that's the only reason we spent all that money and went all in. They had to produce something that was going to make the playoffs just to say, oh, look, we're better off now. But have we been? Well, yeah, we made the playoffs. That's a matter of circumstance. Flores won 10 games and missed the playoffs. We won 9 and made it. That was a matter of circumstance. So now, today, we're paying for 2 years ago the money that we spent. Just going all out. We're paying for it today. And what are we doing to cope with it? Sitting here and doing what we always do as fans, justifying every move that the Dolphins make. Well, collectively, these are some good moves. I feel like our team is better today. Somebody sent me an analysis the other day that showed that stopping the run basically doesn't equate to winning games. Somebody did a whole video on it, and somebody sent me the video saying stopping the run does not equate to winning games. And the Dolphins were smart for investing in secondary instead of run stopping, because secondary, stopping guys in the secondary, equates to winning games. And I watched the whole thing and I realized some people just really have one. They don't know how to calculate mentally multiple variables at once, so they only use one. What the data showed is that the teams that made the playoffs were not good. Like, you don't have to be a good run stopping team to make the playoffs. But teams that made the playoffs were pass stopping teams. That's what the data showed. And the data was correct on that from a correlation standpoint. But it's not the only factor in football. How many of those teams also had an offense with a quarterback who can carry? You could be the best coverage team and can't stop the run, but if you ain't got a quarterback who can carry, you still get outscored. Teams run down your throat. And the statistics are automatically be skewed anyway, because it's now a passing league. The sample size for running is much smaller than passing now. If I was to guess, the league has a ratio of probably 60 to 40% now. It's no longer the days of 55, 45 or whatever. It's probably 60, 62 to 40 or 38 now. It's turning into a passing league. But everybody also knows why the Chiefs, like, I want y'all to think about those games, right? That the Chiefs going through the playoffs. Every time they get in those hard-fought games, they start pounding the rock and getting those first downs. It reminds me of the Lions this year in the first or second round, how they were pounding the rock and they just couldn't stop them. Just couldn't stop them. Some of the craziest games this year, you just couldn't stop the run, and they kept pounding the rock. Look at the Miami Dolphins. Imagine us if we couldn't run the ball effective this year. We wouldn't have made the playoffs. A lot of people talk about our passing game, but do not sleep on the fact that our running game carried us this year. Our running game carried us. It threw teams off balance. We were getting gashes. I mean, Mostert had 21 touchdowns or something like that, right? Like, think about that. And we're going to say stopping the run doesn't matter. Maybe the point of the matter is teams need to get back to stopping the run, and they'll have a better chance. And ask y'all a question. All them good teams that beat us this year, what's one thing that they shut down, at least in the second half? What's the one thing that they shut down in the second half and they dared us to throw the ball? They shut down the run. And we all said, we should have ran more. Why did we stop running? Every time we say, why did we stop running the ball? I go back and watch the film and I see Mike McDaniel trying to run the ball, but it ain't doing what it was doing in the first half. The first half, first down, on first down, 7 yards. Second down, 12 yards. First down, 13 yards. First down, 4 yards. Second down, 8 yards. I'm like, man, we running the heck out of the rock. Throwing in between, but we running the heck out of the rock. Second half come, first down, -2. Second down, 4. Passing situation. Punt the ball. Next drive, first down, 1 yard. Second down, -2. Third and 11. Even if you pick it up, first down, 6. Okay. Second down, -2. Third and 5, punt the ball. And then all of a sudden, in those 2 punts, they done scored. They up by 14. We in a pass situation. We should have ran the ball more. Y'all got to go watch these games. Y'all got to watch these games. And then y'all say, well, he still got to stick with it. But guess what? McDaniel's also looking at, man, in the first half, they were putting 6 in the box. Now they're committing 7. They're literally committing 7. And sometimes 8. Safety's creeping downhill. Sometimes 8. They are telling us beat them with the pass because they're not going to let us run. So you know what? We got to beat them with the pass. Let's go, Tua. Let's go, Tyreek. Let's go, guys. We didn't show up. All of them games, go watch them in that second half. Safety's creeping up in the box. Slot corner coming off the edge and the safety rotating as the corner. They start loading the box. So when the slot corner coming off the edge and we run that way, nobody here for me. I'm right there. And if we're passing, the safety go pick them up. Or if we run in the other way, the other safety already in the box. Like, go watch the film. This notion that I keep hearing, McDaniel got to be more consistent. He went away from the run in key moments. Did you go look at the 2 drives before that? And now you're down by 14. What you want the man to do? They put 7 and 8 in the box. And then if he keep running and we go down by 21, well, I don't like the play calling. I mean, we're going to make an excuse either way. And then here's the funny thing. Somebody just put it in the comment section of screens. He was doing that too. When down the run, then you see all them 1 yard passes to try to get them in open field of playmakers as an extension of the run. And those teams, they play press when they load the box with the high safety so we don't get beat deep. They play press. So as soon as the ball coming out there, they just get on it right away. That's why Tyreek catch the ball and he already getting tackled. That's why we get a screen and a guy already running backwards. I mean, go look at those games in particular, and some of y'all remember, and y'all can see what I'm saying vividly right now. When they stop our run and then we start going to those little screens and how the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Chiefs, they always all over our screens. We don't screen them well. Why? Because they always be pressing out there anyway. They be pressing, and you can't start blocking until the ball is thrown. And what do? They sit there and they let that corner, when they press, stay there. You can even run past them because they're in that makeshift zone. Man press zone, like they bumping and letting you go. And once they determine it's not a run or whatever it may be, they start backing out in the coverage. But go watch the film and you'll see this whole run narrative. Every time the film, McDaniels was trying to run the ball. He was still trying to run the ball. But at some point, he got to do what he got to do. The scores, the lead is getting extended while I'm trying to still enforce the run. And we can't put Tua in a 3rd and long situation. He could pick it up, but not against these good teams. It's not likely. They know that they got to play a 10-plus yard depth, and they all over the shallow stuff that all the bum teams see. All these trash teams, we could run the shallow stuff because they already backed up. So when they catch it, it's open field and they could just make moves and use their speed. Easy work. But when you got, and that's 10-yard cushion, but when you playing Buffalo, Baltimore, Kansas City, and they up in your face, we can't execute all that shallow stuff. It's a tight window. Everything got to be perfect. And we're not even close to being perfect. This is why I always tell y'all, it is night and day when we play the good teams versus the bad teams. Because the bad teams make it easy. They actually make it easy. We sitting here raving thinking we got the best thing on surf. They actually making it easy. They were actually making it non-difficult. It's nothing to get the ball in the hands of our speedy guys with 10-yard cushion and they make a move or two and they get 13. It's nothing. Too easy. Too easy. So that's what's basically going on. You got to be able to stop the run. And I think that that's an issue that we're going to potentially have next year unless we address it in the draft and really get an anchor in the middle. And like I told y'all before, I'm all for the Dolphins going to get Brandon Fisk. I feel like he's the best complement of Christian Wilkins because he's going to come in the league, put on about 15 pounds, and he's going to be the best complement to Christian Wilkins. Why? Because he's faster. He's a true 3-tech. And he could be all over the field. Make him be the Christian Wilkins that we know where you never give up on the play. He has the athleticism. He's undersized, but he got the athleticism. And if you don't want to go with the Christian Wilkins compliment, then go get T'Vondre Sweat and get a wall, 366-pound wall in the middle of the D-line. And I feel good, and Zeeler will eat all day. But go get that wall. Fisk at 55, I like that. I don't think he'll be there, but if he is there at 55, nice. Go ahead and get your center in at 21, but we need something at 55 at the D tackle position. I don't care if you go in the fifth round, or if you get back in the fourth or third and you find this 350-pound defensive tackle that's a wall. You think, miss me with that. Miss me with it. I won't believe it until they prove it on the field. So get me Sweat or get me Fisk. And they're two different guys, two different type of play, but it's two different ways you can go after this. Replace Christian Wilkins for the cheap with Fisk, or get you a wall. But I don't think they'll be there at 55. We'll see. Time will tell. Y'all do me a favor real quick. Punch that like button. Again, ladies and gentlemen, punch the like button for me. Let's get our likes up. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to TD Fans Talk right now. Home of the real Dolphin fans. Thank everybody who always shows love and appreciation to the channel. Thank you, guys who sent the super chats. Let me read those. A Miggy. Been a member for 4 months. Said, TD, been watching you since sophomore year of high school. Now I'm entering my 3rd year of college. Wow. Let's go. Bill's downfall must be studied. Yeah. What we need to learn from that study. I worked, but kept checking for your channel. I'm here, baby. What up, Flip? That's what's up, homie. Scant Dollar said, but another AFC team got stronger. Yeah, well, let me say this. If T. Higgins do go to Buffalo, it's even worse for us because Texas just leapfrogged us. Argue with a wall. I don't care if you don't agree. Good for you. I respect your opinion. Texas done got better than a lot. Like I said, top 3 in my opinion at this point, at least in the AFC. Man. Top 2, because they better than the Chiefs right now, but you just can't, right? Right. You know what I mean? But that roster better than the Chiefs roster, and they got a legitimate quarterback who, like, let's be honest. When you really look at it, outside of playoff performances, what is Mahomes doing that CJ Stroud ain't? Outside of playoffs, even though CJ Stroud balled out in the first round of the playoffs too, but outside of just consistent playoff success, I mean, come on. But you're not going to do that because it's Mahomes. And I respect that and understand that, right? But the Texans, top 2 in the AFC, top 3 in the NFL, 4, 5, and nobody can have them out of the top 5 right now. If you do, you're just being a hater or you're trying to squeeze your own team in that may not belong there. You cannot have the Texans out of the top 5 right now. Come on. Because a team like the Texans, Stefan Diggs get hurt, doesn't matter. The other receiver get hurt, doesn't matter. This is why they bring all those guys. Waddle limp around and we like, man, all right, man, somebody just going to have to step up. Tyreek get hurt. Oh, man. Waddle going to have to play his best and somebody got to step up. And the 2 guys got to, everybody got to step up. But they're in a position where if they lose a top receiver for the whole year, they still as good as everybody else. Because let's be honest, without Stefan Diggs, they've already put themselves in a position to be as good as everybody else. Now you add Diggs, and I feel I ain't done. Matter of fact, I'm going to also show y'all the cap situation for all teams. If we sweep Buffalo this year, TD, you got a Hulk Hogan, that Buffalo shirt. I'm going to burn it. I'm going to burn it on camera. Y'all losing Reek when y'all play Waddle, when y'all pay Waddle 30 plus million. Yeah, I already know that. I think we can get away with a nice deal for Waddle, though. I think that we can get like 26 million a year annual, like he could help us out. I think we can pull that off with Waddle. Like this, like a 5-year, 26 million each year. I think we might be able to do like a 5-year 130 on Waddle. You still can't keep Tyreek at 30 if you do, but I think we could do that with Waddle. And if not, yeah, we screwed. I mean, we still screwed either way, but I don't know. I guess I'm trying to justify to make it fit myself. But yeah, I know we're not gonna be able to afford both, but we can when we sign Waddle, we'll be able to afford both of them for like one more year. We'll be able to absorb it for like one more year. Yeah, we will. But yeah. Let's see. I want to try to pull up salary cap NFL. I want to see where teams are right now. I want to see if they have it updated yet on where teams are. Let me go to the Spo Track one because they seem to update quicker than Over the Cap. And Over the Cap don't do the restructures for like several days. All right, let's see here. And look at that. Let me make sure I'm reading this correct. Let me click on Houston Texans and see if they yep, they already got Stefan Diggs accounted for. Gosh, and Houston still got $32 million right now. After Diggs. They still got $32 million right now. Now, Buffalo got $35 million now because they cleared the Diggs contract for now, and I already know they spreading that dead cap out. Let me take a look at it. Stefan Diggs, dead cap, $31 million. But y'all give me a second. But they haven't calculated Diggs dead cap and break it down into multiple years. I doubt that they hit now. If they do, that's crazy. That is crazy if they do. Wow. So the Bills still got a little money because of the situation, but they're gonna have to eat the dead cap in the dividing of it. We'll see how they go. The Dolphins, where are they at? The Dolphins they're 28th in the NFL. They have $5.8 million. Right now we got 5.8 million. Now remember, we get that money from Xavier Howard back. Let me take a look to see when how much that is again. 25, but how much will we get back? That's crazy. We still got 10 million of Byron Jones dead cap. It's funny. Let's see here. Miami. Let me see. Top 51 cap. Total cap. Technically, we're negative 8 million with all cap space, but that's not a big deal. We're going to cut the roster. Right now, we're 5.8 million. Yeah, 5.8 million is what we got. Okay. Done. I'm just trolling those bums. So there's only 4 teams that got less cap space than us. The Jets, they got 2 million. The Bucks. Now remember, top 51, I think that includes our draft pick. Let me back out and go over the cap real quick. Let me see what they have. They usually slow it in Spotrac, but let me make sure. Let me make sure, because I bet they're gonna have us at like, I mean, we'll see. Let me see. Y'all give me a second. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it was good. I came to Spotrac. I came to over the cap. Let me tell y'all the difference. Spotrac just tells you where you are now. Over the cap, they must have updated it. I'm gonna check in a moment. Let me check. They've updated ours. We actually only have 1.8 million because Spotrac has something called effective cap space. That tells you, including what we're going to end up paying for the draft picks. That's also including the projections of our draft picks. So we got 1.8 million in cap space. Excuse me. So yeah, we're technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're the 6th most cap space, 6th least amount of cap space. Right now, the Jets technically are negative 3 million after they draft picks. The Seahawks, so the Jets they might actually trade back. A lot of people need to pay attention to this because the Jets could possibly trade back, or they'll have to make sacrifices in training camp and figure out who they want to move on from. Okay. The Jets are negative 3 million right now after they sign their draft picks. So look for them to potentially trade back to make that work. Unless they got money coming from a player that's post June 1st. I don't know yet. Seahawks negative 1.3. The Bucks are negative 800,000. The Panthers have $35,000 to spend after their draft picks. The Dolphins have 1.8 and the Browns 3 million. Now, technically the Browns, if you just go off of raw cap space, without the draft picks, then the Dolphins have 4.8 million, almost 5 million. See, them in Spotrac, they're close. So the Dolphins have almost 5 million if you're not going to consider the draft picks yet. If we consider the top 51 plus draft picks, then we only got 1.8. And then we'll get Xavier Howard's money. But really, that's season money. Every team want to have at least about $10 million for the season. Do y'all know how much money we paid after the season even started last year? Just bringing guys in because of injuries? Every time somebody get hurt, you got to bring somebody in. And you got to give them a contract. So we don't have the money that people think we do. Oh, we get this back when X come and all of that. That's why the Dolphins are doing these 1 and 2 year deals, because the players that we're getting for 2-year deals, they're not going to see their second year. Because what the Dolphins, let me give you an example. Say the Dolphins do a 2-year, $10 million contract, $5 million each, right? What they're doing is they're like, okay, your first year we're going to do $3 million, and the last year we're going to do $7 million. So what they're going to do next year is cut them and then just eat the $2 million dead cap, because they only guaranteed $5 million. So they're only doing 2-year contracts so that they can divide the money. And some of them, they doing a 1-year contract and add voidable years where they know the player going to be gone anyway. And that's why I'm a little concerned, because we're going to pick up a big number next year on dead cap. It's going to be larger than people think. Larger than people think. Now, remember 2 weeks ago, everybody was raving about having 11 draft picks next year and $65 million. Let's see how much money we got now next year. After the projected draft picks, we're at $19 million next year of cap space. So we go from 65 next year, and now it's at 19. And here's what's crazier. Then we're going to cut a lot of those players I just told you the situation on, and we're going to have to replace them. Then on top of that, this does not include Tua's new deal, Holland's new deal, Phillips' new deal, or Waddle's new deal. And there's probably a few more, but those are the ones that stick out to us right now. It don't include none of their new deal. None. So it's definitely going to be interesting. And look at this right here. They actually got the numbers. We're going to have the 6th most dead cap of all teams next year. 6th most. Who has more than us? Broncos, 32 million. Buccaneers, 17 million. Saints, 16 million. And I'm wrong. We're going to have the 4th most. Dolphins right now, we're going to be at 16 million next year in dead cap. And that number is going to rise because of all those cuts I told you they're going to make next year and put that money on the back end. So the dead cap is going to go up from that. I personally believe, watch, next year we're going to be looking at maybe $30 million in dead cap. It's going to be double this. It might even be greater than that, but it's going to be double this. And I could see us starting the season -40, -45, somewhere like that. Just depends on what happens this season with injuries and stuff like that. But yeah. So the Miami Dolphins, as of right now, will have the 9th least amount of cap space next season. 9th least. The Saints are already 81 million over the cap next year, and with 43 players. Oh, another thing to consider, by the way. That 19 million in cap space next year only has 31 players under contract. It only has 31 players under contract. So that's even more proof that we're going to be way over next year. Why? Because even if you filled the roster to 53 and you gave every person a minimum $1 million, we will be over. So we're going to be way over. There are going to be a lot more restructures or major cuts, sacrifices next year. Big time. Because that's only 31 players on the roster. And everybody else got 34, 37, 39, 38, 43, 44, 50, 40, 44, 34, 41, 28. Who is that? Panthers. Well, it makes sense. Everybody else got a lot of people on the roster next year. We're all the way down to 31. So we're not even accounting for 22 players that's going to make the roster, and all we got is 19 million. And when that dead cap go up, that's going to get eaten up. And then when these contracts get extended, yeah, we'll probably start the season at a big time negative deficit. Right back there again. So we'll see. We'll see next year what they want to do, what decisions they make. We shall see. Time always tells. All right. But yeah, man, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We got 825 people watching right now. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, if you're new to this channel, subscribe to TD Fans Talk right now. We got a super chat from Boba Jet. Boba Jet said, Trash Allen back in 2024. Honestly, you think they trade for Justin Jefferson, though? Jets AFC East champs 2024. Let's go Jets. Dolphins wild card. Listen, all that Jets winning is ridiculous and wild card for us. We're going to win the division now. But listen, even if Buffalo trades for a receiver, Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, yeah, they'll be better. They're going to spend more money. That still hurts them. Now, I did look at their books right now, and I'm kind of shocked that they still got $35 million in cap space. I don't know where the heck that came from. Well, the Diggs move right now. Let's see how they spread the dead cap, because they might even get more or a little less. I got to see how they end up spreading the dead cap. Okay. But, yeah, I'm shocked that they got some cash right now. So we'll see. I'll see what they do with it. But again, they needed cash. They were going to be struggling for the next few years to come because Josh Allen's number keeps getting bigger and bigger each year. And Diggs' number was staying pat. So they it is what it is. They knew they were going to have to do this next year anyway. So for them, why not do it now, get the assets? Because obviously they got some kind of play in work. And you saw that stuff last night. I think they came in this morning and was like, let's call a few teams who want Diggs. Because last night, somebody was tweeting and stuff, and they were basically, in so many words, what I got out of it, they were saying Josh Allen doesn't need Diggs. He's still productive even without him. And Diggs replied, you sure? I think that was his reply, or it was those sentiments. He said, you sure? Oh, boy. And he got traded today. And he gets traded. Crazy, crazy, crazy times, ladies and gentlemen. But I love it. Turmoil. It takes away from their chemistry. It does all of that. So I'm all for it. This is a win for the Dolphins. We'll see how it goes. Now they're going to be relying on Dalton Kincaid to step up even more. They're going to bring in another receiver. They did get a second-round pick, you know. Yeah, so we'll see what they end up doing with it. We'll see. Maybe they move up in the draft and try to get one of these wide receivers. Those are potentials too. I don't know. I have no clue. Y'all thought y'all was in there, the team with the generational, will clap y'all again. Man, Buffalo's window is closed, bro. Now y'all bracing y'allself. Please go find somebody. Go get somebody. If y'all miss out on getting another top receiver, it's over for y'all. purgatory. If y'all miss out on getting another good receiver, that's it. That's it. I ain't gonna lie though. I know y'all gonna figure it out one way or another. Think you go get a top 15 player in the draft. You probably gonna take your first round pick, take both of your second round picks, and try to move up to somewhere around 15, something like that, and maybe get one of these top receivers. Or you might try to trade for Justin Jefferson, which I think is I don't. Oh man, I just thought about that. Justin Jefferson would be a nasty upgrade because I think Minnesota's going to end up moving off of him. I'm just like right now trying to say they're not, but I think they're going to move off of him. It's going to be interesting if they do where he goes. I will say this: you get Justin Jefferson, you're back, and not only are you back, but you upgraded and you're back. You upgraded and you're back. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to see that happen. I wouldn't want to see that happen. I would not want to see that happen. No. I'm going to tell you now, Dolphin fans probably going to be mad at me when I say this. I would trade Tyreek for Justin Jefferson straight up if I could. I might even send a little third rounder with it. Because the one thing that I don't like is that we do not have a player that won't get bullied sometimes at the line of scrimmage. Our guys are small. We still need a big guy. And I ain't talking about no Jonnu Smith. Justin Jefferson, man. But again, there's a flip side of that too. Big guys can't slow down as fast as small guys. You know, the way we play football, deep balls, you know, we run 45, 50-yard comeback routes, you know. And I guess that's the nicest way of saying it because it's Dolphins Peace Day. But yeah, big guys can't stop and come back to the ball like little guys. So maybe Tyreek is a better fit. Justin Jefferson might actually decline under us. He's not going to be that little small scat guy catching and trying to do after. He's trying to get out there and put that work in 30, 40 yards down the field. So, yeah. So, no, I'll keep Tyreek. He's better suited for the Dolphins. He's better suited for the Dolphins. Oh, man, look at the AFC, y'all. Look at the top teams in the AFC. The Chiefs, did they get better? It doesn't matter what they got because they continue to win despite everything that we point out that they not anymore. So we can never count them out no matter what they do, right? So that's the Chiefs. Then you go runner-up. Who is the runner-up in the AFC pretty much? Baltimore got better. People say they lost a little on defense. No, they always knew that was going to happen. That's why they brought Roquan in. They knew they were going to move on from Patrick Quinn. And they bring in Derrick Henry to help the offense. Whole nother level. Texans. No comment. Self-explanatory at this point. Bengals ain't do much, but they did bring in 2 top-tier tackles to make sure Burrow don't have issues with protection. The one thing they've neglected for a long time. So they have a high likelihood of getting back to form because until Higgins is traded, he's still a Bengal. Who else made some moves in the AFC? Browns still up there. The Browns are still up there. Pittsburgh got the quarterback, receiver. The defense is always going to be fire. Who else? I don't like what the Jags doing. I don't like what the Colts doing. Tennessee Titans. They actually really geared up. Just nobody respects them. They could very well have a Houston Texans of last year type year under Will Levis. because Will Levis this year has more around him than C.J. Stroud had around him the year before, than last year. Like, do people realize what Will Levis just got? He got the running back. They fixed the O-line. They bring in help on the defensive side of the ball, especially with what's his name? The one who bullied Tyreek from the Chiefs. I keep forgetting his name. I don't know why. But y'all know who I'm talking about. And then what's the two receivers? D-Hop and why I keep forgetting this man's name? The big name receiver they just got in the trade. What's his name? Calvin Ridley. Yeah, and Snead. I know you talk about. And we beat them without Ridley, Snead, or O-line. I mean, they beat us without Ridley, Snead, or O-line, and those other moves they made. And they got better draft capital. Then you look at the Jets. I hate them. We better not lose this division. We better not lose to the Buffalo. But the Jets, we better not. But the truth of the matter is, they loaded. They geared up. I don't care how old they are, how injury prone. The one thing I know about their oldness and injury prone, now they're going to go in the draft and get young talent to back those guys up. Solid young talent to back those guys up. So their first round pick, they don't have a second. I think they're going to trade out, and I think they're going to pick up 2 firsts. But whatever happens, if they do, they're going to get some players that can probably start day one, but won't even start maybe. Or if they're that good in camp, they'll start, but they'll have a good backup now. And the Dolphins, we still a good team. We still got a lot of good talent. We just got a lot of tough circumstances with our defense. Our defensive line ain't going to be healthy for a few weeks, hopefully with no setbacks. Yeah. Ain't nobody kidding about the Raiders. I know they D-line going to be good, but who cares? That's all they got. Ain't nobody worrying about the Raiders. Who else in the AFC? Other teams I probably just ain't thinking about right now. But yeah, I just named 9 teams before I even got to us. When you look at all they're doing, somebody said, what pick do Texans have? Let me look. All right. NFL draft order for all 7 rounds. Yeah, and I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to look at what teams in the AFC going to get better with like top 15 picks in the first round. Because after 15, you don't know what you're getting. All right, the Patriots at number 3. The Chargers at number 5. Not worried about them either. Tennessee at number 7. They get to add even another top player. And they might even get another O-lineman knowing them. Knowing what they just came from, they done fixed the O-line and they may get another one. Jets at 10, man, they got the 10th overall pick. Like I said, with Penix and quarterbacks like that still on the board, the Jets might trade out and get multiple picks. I could see them trading right there with Minnesota because other teams calling the trade. But the Jets get a first-round pick or maybe multiple if they trade out right there. Denver at 12, not worried about them either way. Vegas at 13, still ain't going to be worried about them. Colts at 15, still ain't going to worry about them. And that's pretty much it. After that is the teams. Jags at 17, it'll help them. But they fallen a little. Cincinnati at 18 overall pick can help Cincinnati because they still a competitor now. So bringing in another player, especially if they find a receiver and they feel good about moving on from Higgins, and they save all that money, and then they could actually go shopping a little more. Potential, because remember, they're taking that hard cap hit on that franchise tag. You bring in a first round pick at 18, what's that, $6 million? You literally save 13 right there, and you get another nice receiver. Pittsburgh at 20, that's going to help them because that team actually kind of solidified. Defense is stacked. Offense continue to make it better, bring in protection. Dolphins at 21, it could definitely help us. We need it. We got too many holes. But some teams, if I wasn't a Dolphin fan, I'd be like, I ain't really worried about the Dolphins. I feel like they're going to take a step back because they lost some major holes. I'm just being honest with y'all. If I wasn't a Dolphin fan, that's what I would be saying. Because I see a lot of talent, but a lot of little gaps of he's solid, collective and all. And here's why I say that. When I'm sitting here talking about the Chiefs, when I'm talking about Baltimore's roster, right? I'm not going through their roster was he ain't and he ain't. They need this. They need when I'm not doing that much. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that much, when I'm talking about the Houston Texans at this point. And these are teams we're going to have to beat. Chiefs, Baltimore, Houston. And we play the Texans this year. We won't even have to play the other ones. We won't even have to play the other ones. Go watch the Chiefs game. Snead was holding it down both games. You ain't telling me. I know that for a fact. Red, White, and Bills in the house, the homie. He said, still winning the AFC East. Ooh, y'all really delusional. Really delusional. Man, y'all delusional. Oh, man. Anyway, again, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to TD Fans Talk right now. Thank you, everybody who subscribed to the channel. I appreciate the love and support. It's going down today. We got the huddle at 3 p.m. We got the AFC East roundtable this evening. We're gonna be talking about a lot of these things. It's gonna be pretty fun. Man, tonight I can't wait to Dan's gonna be crying, y'all. I'm gonna tell you now, Dan gonna be crying tonight. He gonna be making excuses. He gonna be like, yeah, Richie, man, you let TD trigger you all the time. I'm used to it, so it doesn't faze me anymore. Yeah, we'll see tonight. Because he getting trolled like no other. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all now. I'm gonna tell him straight up tonight. The Patriots better than y'all at this point. Oh, the bums are bumming. I told them this was coming. I told them that the window was shut. I'm gonna be honest. I was scratching my head like, even though they let go a lot of players, at least they let go the old ones. But how are they able to do it? They supposed to be letting go a young one here or there. And here we go. Diggs is out of there. I can't believe this. I was playing with my baby girl, and I was finna go on a walk with the wife, go on a little mile walk. We like to take 1 or 2 a day. We're about to go on our little walk and have our little visioning for the future. And boy, when I saw it, I said, no, I didn't see it in the headline. I saw Richie was live, Jets Media Live, Buffalo Bills trade Stefan Diggs. I'm like, it ain't April Fool's. Why he trading? He doing a mock or some fake thing. Then I see Dan Mitchell live. I freaked out. I said, is this real? Oh, my gosh, man. Yeah. Patriots over the Bills now. Bills fans, don't go running tonight. Don't go hide. Make sure y'all show up. All right? Listen, man, I'm about to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of my day. Again, y'all come hang out on the huddle. This stream was brought to you by BetUS. Y'all saw those BetUS odds. We back, baby. Those odds got us 10 points away from being the favorite, and it's going to happen after the draft. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. I will catch y'all on the other side. Subscribe right now if you're new to the channel. We're finna get to 30,000 before week 1 of the season. Let's get to 30,000. Help the channel out and subscribe right now. Love y'all so much. See you soon. Peace. I'm out.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.